Hey there, this is Alex Kluge from Toronto Home Experts, and I'm here to dive into the February 2021 Toronto real estate market update. So, what's happening in the market right now? Well, we're here to dive into the numbers and give you some insight and intel with what's happening in the Toronto real estate market. So, sales volume. Sales volume is a great metric to look at because it tells you the overall health and activity in the marketplace. Now, shockingly, February 2021, we saw a record month. We were up over 52% from where we were last year in terms of sales activity. Like last February, if we take ourselves back pre-pandemic, that was a very, very hot real estate market. Like we were seeing some tremendous pent-up demand and run-up in the market. And February proved to be a very busy month. Now, if we're comparing February 2020 to 2021, it's truly amazing that we're seeing these numbers that we're seeing today. Like this is a record month. Like February is not usually this busy. So why is it? Why are we seeing this kind of activity? So really, I think it's basically spurred on by two major factors. One, interest rates. So interest rates, as we know, are at historical lows, but they are creeping up a little bit. So the rates are up, since we've recorded our last video in January, they're up probably about 25 basis points, which is not insignificant, right? When we're talking about the differences between like a 1.7 rate to 1.75 to 2%, like that's not insignificant. So that's a pretty big jump. So we feel that people that are buying right now are looking to lock into these ultra low interest rates. So that's number one, because we don't know where fixed rates are going, but they can't stay like this forever. Like we know the variable rate is likely going to stay this low. That's certainly what the indication has been from the Bank of Canada, but fixed rates are probably going to be creeping up because that's what's been happening in the bond market. So interest rates are low, people want to lock in. Now, if you haven't bought, if you're in the market right now and you're looking to buy something, please call your mortgage broker and get a rate hold. Okay, a rate hold is essentially gives you a rate guarantee for, depending on your lender, anywhere between like 60 to 120 days, and so that you get locked into this rate. So even as fixed rates go up, you still have that old rate guarantee. Very important in this market, and we've been telling all our buyers right now to do that. So if you're in the marketplace, get a rate hold, please. The other factor is this market's really driven by end users. This is not an investor-driven market. Like in 2016, there was a huge pent-up demand and volume and sale price increase, and that was driven primarily, well, not primarily, mostly by real estate investors. And they were looking to, and that's when we saw the huge run up in prices in like York region and so forth, because we saw a lot of overseas money and investors buying homes. So that's not what we're seeing right now. This is end users. So end users are looking for a change of lifestyle. They're looking to find out what's happening in my workplace, in my life, that I need to change my home. So, do I need more space? Do I need that second or third bedroom? Like, what is it that we need to make that shift in our change in lifestyle? And that's what I think is really prompting the market. So, change of lifestyle, interest rates is really what we're seeing is the main two drivers to what's happening with these February numbers. Now, when we're looking at active listings, unsurprisingly, when we're looking at what's happening in terms of sale price increase, which you're going to see in a second, the numbers are flat. So, what is that telling us? We're seeing basically, when we have a huge run up in sales and active listings are essentially flat, that puts upward pressure on price. So, unsurprisingly, we're going to see price appreciation in this type of market. We're also going to see days on market decrease, most likely when we're seeing those two metrics. So kind of an important stat to look at, because that tells you kind of, it's a little bit of a leading indicator in terms of what's happening right now. So new listings. So new listings are up actually 42%. And we feel that the reason we're seeing new new listings increase this much is that I think people can see the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to the pandemic. Like we're seeing vaccine rollouts across the country. The warmer weather is, not too far away. So, our governments are telling us that likely by the summer, everyone's going to be vaccinated. So we're going to have, perhaps more normalcy when it comes to, our day-to-day living compared to what we're seeing now. And so there's going to be probably some shifts in terms of where people are working and so forth. So really, I think people are getting a head start on that and saying, okay, you know what, I can see that there's going to be a change in lifestyle. Hopefully, this is not with here for us too much longer. So let's take a jump on this and let's execute. So that's really what we feel is what's behind these kind of three important metrics when you're looking at the overall health of a real estate market. So unsurprisingly, based on what the stats we just talked about, prices are up like almost 15%, which is amazing. Like who would have thought you're in the middle of a pandemic and prices are up 15%? And remember, last February was a great market. Like this was a very, very active market. So 15%, and that's across the Toronto Real Estate Board. So that's a pretty encompassing market, and there's really micro markets within those markets, like the 905, like Halton, Peel, York, Durham, like are behaving differently than the 416. Like when we're looking at Toronto proper, like freeholds, like detached, semi-detached townhouse are performing really, really well relative to where we were last year. I mean, prices are up, probably somewhere in that 10 to 12% range, again, depending on area. Condo prices are still down though. Like condo prices have not recovered. So we're seeing some early indications of a really, really healthy and active condo market, especially downtown, which was, most severely affected by the slowdown in prices due to the pandemic. So we feel that there's a tremendous buying opportunity in downtown, and hard to predict exactly when prices will catch up to where they were in 2020, but likely I think we're going to look at sometime this spring. So could it be May that we'll see like finally a catch up to where the peak was in terms of prices, and then we're going to see a continued elevation. Like condo markets downtown right now it is so active. It's multiple offers almost on everything, not everything. Probably the number is around 80, 82%. So there's a significant number of multiple offer scenarios in the downtown core. So, and I think people are jumping back again to my earlier point, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and downtown is going to be, rejuvenated with restaurants reopening, workplaces reopening, sporting events, concerts, theater, all that stuff. I mean, who knows when? But sometimes in the latter half of 2021 is likely when that's all going to happen. So anyway, so when we're talking about obviously a price appreciation like we're having, days on market is going to be decreased. So we're down like 14 days on market is incredibly low, and that is for the entire GTA. So there's a huge factor in when we're talking about the days on market, because days on market will vary from micro market to micro market. So having a days on market at 14 days is almost at a historical low when it comes to Toronto real estate. So months of inventory, unsurprisingly, you guys know that this is my favorite stat to look at because this really gives you the barometer of what's happening right now in the market. We're down again, 1.5 months of inventory, so low. Anything less than like 2.5 is really a strong seller's market. So the fact that we're at 1.5 is truly remarkable. So that's telling me that there's not enough supply for buyers right now. So buyers are having to fight for property. And until we see a little bit more easing in terms of the supply, so if we're going to see an increase in supply, which typically happens in the springtime, like spring and fall are typically the two highest numbers in terms of new listings. So that's typically when we see it. Summer is also pretty stable, but the winter is really quite low, and so that's why I think we're seeing that decrease in months of inventory. My feeling is we're going to see a little bit more of a normalizing, coming months, maybe April or May, in that time frame. I mean, normalizing, what I mean, like not 1.5, but could we see the numbers around 2? Probably. Still a seller's market, and still going to be really competitive for buyers. So again, buyers have to be patient, be ready, and please, please, please get that rate hold so that you're guaranteed and locked in on your rate. So hope you've enjoyed this video for this month of February. We love the comments that we've been getting, our comments on social media, emails. Follow us on all our social channels. We've got some amazing stuff that's coming online. So please be sure to follow us for not only this amazing update, which I hope you enjoyed, but also some other great features coming soon. So anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you next month. Bye for now.